Okay, now let's see if we can bring this all back together, all in one. So I've also posted this, I believe, as a PDF for you to use, so that we can go through and talk about this. I'm a visual, so something like this flowchart helps me kind of see the relationship. So you're going to fill in the empty boxes with the appropriate term using the clues provided. Okay. So atoms are the smallest recognizable unit of the element. So we have a couple different ways we can go. We've got important examples in the body. Atoms are molecules with charges, and then back and forth to molecules. Molecules composed one or more atoms bound together forms a molecule. All right, so let's start with what are the parts of an atom. We have protons, which have a positive charge particle. We have neutrons, which are neutral, and which is the negatively charged particle? Correct. Electrons. Okay. Now, let's see. All right. Now let's look over this way. Atoms are molecules with a charge. What are those called? Those are called ions. All right. Okay, so ions that have a concentration of hydrogen ions, or ions dissolved in body salts. Let's do this one first. Ions dissolved in body salts. What are those known as? That would be electrolytes. Now, when we talk about these ions in relation to their like or dislike of hydrogen ions, so that causes a concentration-based pH. So pH greater than 7 would be a base. And a pH less than 7 would be an acid. All right, very good. Okay, so next we're going to come back over here and we're going to talk about important elements or examples in the body of the different types of elements that we need. So iodine is necessary for the activity of the thyroid gland, and fluoride is necessary for solid tooth formation. Which electrolyte or element is necessary for the formation of hemoglobin? That would be iron. Great. Okay. Let's come back over to our molecules. So molecules, of course, they're two elements or more put together. All right. Let's talk about the bonding. So atoms that are held together through chemical bonds. Now, they are the different types of chemical bonds. Atoms that share electrons are known as what kind of chemical bond? That would be covalent. Okay, if atoms share electrons unequally, it creates a polarity or a polar bond. Now, an electron is transferred from one atom to another, and the resulting positive and negative charges attract this atoms together. What kind of bond is that? That is an ionic bond. The ions, they're sharing those charges. Okay, now let's talk about chemical reactions. So we have chemical bonds. Created and broken down is what's called a chemical reaction. So all chemical reactions in the body are known as, think chapter 1, metabolism. Okay, so large molecules being broken down. What metabolic process is the breaking down phase? That would be catabolism. All right, now the type of catabolism, and here it's got the answer right there for you, where water is added is called hydrolysis. We're adding a water molecule. Now, small parts being built up. What is that process? That's anabolism. And again, I kind of gave you the answer down below. A type of anabolism where water is removed is dehydration, right? We dehydrate, we take the water out. Okay. Let's now come over from catabolism. Foods we eat. We break down the foods we eat to get an energy molecule. What is that energy molecule known as? ATP. Okay, so here we've got molecules in the different types in the body, the high energy molecule, which is related to catabolism. So we've got a double piece here that tells us information. All right, so let's talk about other types of molecules in the body. The materials that give us our genetic makeup, those are nucleic acids. Sugars and starches are known as what type of molecule? That would be a carbohydrate. Okay. Then we have long chains of amino acids. What molecule is made from long chains of amino acids? That would be protein. Okay. So proteins need enzymes or make enzymes, and enzymes are used in chemical reactions. So you see we have a lot of interconnected pieces in everything that's going on in biochemistry. So that's why having a fundamental, at least a little bit of understanding of what's going on will facilitate the next few chapters. Now, proteins that protect against infection. Now, I didn't talk about this in the lecture part. You had to have read your book. That would be, whoops, I jumped a place. Okay, so fats are lipids. Now we're going to go back and talk about the infection. So lastly, that would be an antibody. All right. So hopefully this will be a nice study aid for you to see a visual of how this all interacts and how the material in this chapter all comes back together. All right.